Were you told you were shy? Do you identify as shy? Do you hate that word now? Do you just wish you could get over it and get on with your life? Welcome to Shining Beyond Shy, empowering you to create a greater life than you ever thought was possible. With your Shining Beyond Shy host, Fiona Cutts. So, hi everybody, Fiona Cutts here, your host for Shining Beyond Shy. And the topic that we have for this week is choice. And actually, I have called, I'm sure, another of my podcasts choice. I'm sure I've talked about this before. So let's call this Beyond Choice or Choice Magnifico. Let's call this Choice Magnifico. Haha, I'm making this up on the go. How does it get better than this? So those of you who've been watching or listening regularly will know that I've just had this very, very full-on dental surgery. And if you're watching, you will see that I have some upper teeth now. How does it get better than this? So the upper teeth are actually removable dentures. And so if I sound a bit strange, it's because I'm wearing removable dentures. And to be honest, I've only had these, I've had them actually, what's today, Saturday, so I've had them 7 days and I ignored them for the first 4 because I had so many points of view about dentures and how it was only the infirm and the stupid who would wear them. And through some facilitation from some friends and through actually seeing that they look pretty good and that they're going to enable me to have a more full life over the next 6 weeks until I get the temporary fixed teeth in the upper jaw. I'm now loving my dentures. Although I have to say, I haven't spent a lot of time talking. It's a funny thing to say. And I guess I've had conversations where I've talked and stopped. So already in the first few minutes of this podcast, I'm like, oh, wow, it feels a bit strange. And feels quite full on to be talking so much with this in my mouth. So anyway, that's the prelude. And so, yeah, the subject is choice. And I am going to use this dental journey to illustrate what I mean here. And I'm probably going to be talking about my dental journey a lot. And that's because it's shown me so much about myself. And it's funny because I've posted on Facebook 3 long stories about my dental journey. And I'm like, oh my God, there's more to come. People are going to get fed up of seeing these pictures and things. Well, it's like, I am posting it for other people. And it's very cathartic writing about it and talking about it on this podcast for me. But also what I'm amazed at is on Facebook, the number of people who are messaging me and saying, oh, I've got this going on, I've got that going on. I think I may need to have the same thing as you. How are you finding it? Oh, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful that I have the guts to post and talk about this. And if you're listening to this and, if you're listening to this and we do know each other personally and you have questions, please reach out. But also if you're listening to this and we don't know each other personally and you have any questions about the dental procedures, please feel free to message me. I'm really, really happy to share my experience and to I didn't know much about this before it started. I was going to say before it started happening to me. It didn't happen to me, but I didn't know much about it. And as I found out more about it, I discovered that it really was a very good solution for me. And I got to choosing it through following the energy. So here we are, choice. So some of you, I think I've talked about this, how nearly 3 years ago, I went to see some dentists in Budapest who were just horrible. I really wouldn't let them anywhere near my mouth. And they told me that I wouldn't be able to have implants, but they had this super duper high-tech solution. And they were more interested in patting themselves on the back that they found this super duper high-tech solution than actually looking at me, the patient, if you like, or the person, the customer, and my teeth, mouth and gums and what I actually required. They weren't interested in me at all, to be honest. So when I realized that when I was willing to know that the natural solutions I was trying weren't working, because it's like I could have had this evidence like a year ago, 18 months ago, but I wasn't willing to go through what I've just gone through until now, to be quite honest. There's always a perfect timing with things. And so when I realized that I wanted to have this surgery, or that I wanted to go to a dentist and find out what was possible, and it all felt so expensive. So I knew that something good was going to come out of it because it felt expensive. But who knows, I may have been told, no, you can't have implants. And actually knowing what I was facing would be better than worrying about it. And that's one of the things I found with this procedure, is like, as I undergo it and as I talk about it, it's much easier than thinking about it. It like the few days before it had all started were the worst, by far the worst. And since I've had the guts to start talking about it and sharing it, it's become easier and easier. And in fact, it's really, really, really expensive for me. And so, yeah, I wanted to just share what I've learned about choice. So in that time now, 2 months ago, when I went to the dentist, and I was so scared about what they were going to say. And I honestly thought they might say, you're so far gone, there's nothing we can do. And we can give you some dentures if you like. Oh, I mean, it's even possible they would say, you're so far gone, you can't even have dentures. I've heard of people who've had that going on. And my whole life I've been told, you're a mess. Your teeth are a mess, your gums are a mess. So I thought it was completely possible that I was that far gone, to use that expression. So when this dentist just said, yeah, you can have implants. I mean, he gave me a choice of keeping some of the teeth in the top jaw, but I could already feel all my teeth moving around in the top jaw. So we both agreed that the best solution was to have all the teeth taken out in both jaws and to have implants. And I was like, oh my God, I can have implants. And he carried on talking and talking and talking. And I couldn't hear anything because I was like, I can have implants, I can have implants. And then when I went to hear what the price was, it's like, it's not that I didn't care about the price, but I knew that whatever the price was, I was fucking gonna have it. And I swear kind of intentionally there, because it's that energy, I am fucking having this. It's like I waited, it's interesting, I say that, I waited and I've waited all this time to have these implants. I am fucking going to have it. And I didn't have to pay for everything up front. It's like some of the treatment won't be until November or December. So it's kind of spaced out. And I had the money to start the treatment, and I have the money to do the next part as well. But I have to create the money for the ending. And there's no doubt in my mind that I can do that and that I will do that. It's like, it's really, really clear, whatever it takes, I'm fucking having these dental implants. It's like, it feels like it's, and I've talked about this before, it feels like it's a choice for living, a choice to really, really move forward and enjoy my life. And it's almost like having these decaying teeth in my mouth. I'm sorry to say it so full on, but it's like I had decaying teeth in my mouth, and I also had very receding gums, which probably were highly infected. And although I didn't I didn't really believe in this medical model, if you like, of having everything cleaned and drilled and blah, blah, blah. But what it feels like is that everything was like a real mess. And I knew all my teeth intimately. I knew all the stuff that was going on in every tooth and every bit of gum. It's like my tongue had exploded. I knew what was going on. I was measuring if it was getting slightly better. I was if it was getting worse. So I knew what was going on. And it feels like they've taken away all the kind of yucky stuff, and it feels like a new start somehow. And so when you have these implants, the implants fuse with the bone and grow the bone, because part of the problem is that I have a lot of bone loss as well in the upper jaw, lower jaw. And so it's a way of rebuilding bone, but also with the gums. And I mean, I'm not very scientific, but both times I've been there, they've taken a small amount of my blood and they take part of that blood and put it into the gums, and I can feel my gums just puffing up is the best way I can explain it. So it's almost like they've taken away the yucky stuff, cleaned it all up, and it's like it's all sort of symmetrical and nice, and it feels like a new lease of life. And it's like, that's it, I'm choosing living. And I'm like, I'm really, really clear. Yeah, I'm living now. And it's interesting because my businesses, I mean, I've been hiding away, covering up my teeth and covering me up in a way for a couple of years, and COVID facilitated that. But I don't think I realized the extent to which I was doing it. And since choosing this, which is only like 6 weeks ago now, or 5 weeks ago now, well, choosing it, I guess, is 2 months ago. I mean, anyway, so I chose to do it 2 months ago, and then I started the process 5 weeks ago. But during that time, it's like, it feels like my presence in the world has increased. It's like when I post on social media, people see it more. Even this podcast, it's like when I post it, people are commenting and liking, and it's like everything is kind of increasing. And this is it, it's like, it's my choice to live, my choice to have more of me in the world, my choice to actually have a future. Because to the extent that I would have been continuing to hide away because of my teeth, that wasn't creating a future, it was creating a hiding away and a diminishing, which is actually what was occurring. It's like my life at certain points in the last year has just kind of diminished and gone downwards, and my businesses have gone downwards. And so that could have continued. And of course, I could have chosen to be one of these people who's just like, fuck it, you know, I've lost some of my teeth and they're a bit decayed, and fuck it, here I am. It's like there are people who live like that. And let me just say, I wasn't willing to be one of them. So let's just do this, everything that brings up, because I can feel there's an energy there that isn't just my energy. And it might be like, oh, come on, Fiona, you could have done that. Or it might be, I mean, I know there are a load of people like me like, no, I couldn't even have one missing tooth, or I couldn't bear, you know, I've had loads of messages from people, oh my God, I know I'm going through this, I can feel my teeth wobbling, I can feel this, I hate that. And so anyway, let's just clear the energy, all the energy it brings up. Truth, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 9 shorts, voids, POVADs, and beyonds. And I'm just going to really ask you to look at this energy of choice, just see if you can get from the way I'm speaking what this energy of choice is. And I've been quite surprised because I feel like I've chosen things in the past. And now that I really have the energy of choice with these teeth, I'm like, oh no, I wasn't really choosing that. And it's interesting with my businesses. I mean, I have several businesses. That's really interesting. Oh, they know they've all kind of tapered off a bit with all, I mean, it's not really COVID. It's like it was actually my choice to hide away. And it's not that it was cognitive a lot of the time, but I would say that my worry and concern about my teeth and my feeling of about how they looked was kind of a constant backdrop to everything I was being and doing over the last couple of years. And yeah, it has created everything kind of diminishing in my life and my business. And that's not a wrongness, that's just how it's been. And it's like, I'm just looking at, okay, so what choice can I make to wake them up again? It's like, I'm choosing my teeth. And it doesn't mean that the money for the teeth has to come from my businesses. It could come from something else now that I've chosen to have the teeth. And obviously the businesses is, well, it's likely to be away, or they're likely to be involved. I mean, it could be that one of you lovely people is like, oh, I'd love to donate some money to Fiona and her teeth. Who knows how it's going to show up? But I've chosen it and I know it's going to occur. And now it's the same with these businesses. Oh, what choice can I make? Am I really committed here? Where do I want to be going? Where do I want my life to be going? And so just see how that all lands with you. And, you know, for some of the bigger things in your life, just be really barriers down, honest with you. Am I really choosing this, or am I just telling myself I'm choosing this? And it's not a wrongness. We don't know what choosing is. We don't know what choice is. And I wasn't told I had choice. And it's like, if I look at my dad, when he had these dental things going on, he didn't have choice. Presumably he's had the same operations as me to whip his teeth out and to give him dentures. And he didn't have the choices that I've had now. It's like you had to just get on with the dentures in those days. So what a fun note to end on. So how does it get better than this? What choices can we all make that will create the future we desire to be living? Anything that doesn't allow us to perceive, know, be, receive, and choose that, let's destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, voids, and beyonds, and POVADs. And isn't that interesting that as I talk more, it became easier and easier with the with my lovely dentures. So how does it get better than this? So beautiful people, if you've enjoyed this, if you've got something out of this conversation around choice, please share this. Please share this with people who are suffering from shyness. Please share this with other people who would like to know what choice is. And please comment, and let's create a buzz around this. And what if every shy person on the planet could have access to these amazing tools? Okay, beautiful people, I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I'm so grateful for you. It would be great if you could subscribe, great if you could leave a review wherever you're listening. And if you'd like some quick, simple tips to overcome shyness wherever you are, please go to my website, fionacuts.com, where you can download my free product, 5 Steps to Overcoming Shyness Wherever You Are. Thank you again, and see you next time.